was and how the educational system was. Another 2-3 minutes from Sheikh Mustafa Sibai rahimahullah, one of the great scholars of Hims, Syria in the near past. He has written a book which has been translated in English by the name of Islamic Civilization. And from the beginning till the end, he mentions the different aspects of the Islamic civilization. In chapter 9, he talks about schools and educational institutions. So I'll just read a certain part of the first page of this chapter 9. It's available online. And what certain parts from the last pages of this. He says that in Islamic civilization, the mosque was the center which developed the school. The mosque developed the school. At that time, the mosque, meaning the masjid, was not only a place of worship. Its extensive open space, jisko hum baramda kehte hain, its extensive open space served as a school where young children learned how to read and write and learned the Quran, Sharia, grammar, and branches of various other disciplines. Next to the masajid, Kuttab was established, what we call maktab today. Kuttab was established that specifically taught reading, writing, Arabic, and math. Today in our maktab, we teach Quran and Islamic studies. Those days, they used to teach math also in the maktab. These Kuttab resembled the present-day primary schools. And there were so many, meaning in number, that Ibn Hawqal calculated that there were 300 maktabs in one of the towns of Sicily. One of the towns of Sicily. Where is Sicily?
Italy.
In current day Italy. So when Muslims were ruling that part of Europe, in one area, it's one of the largest islands in the Mediterranean, if you look into the map today. So in one area of Sicily, 300 maktabs were there. Now each maktab was so spacious that at any one time, hundreds and thousands of students could be taught. Abul Qasim al-Balkhi rahimahullah writes about his own maktab, in which 3,000 students would learn. The compound was so wide that a donkey had to be used to go from one side to the other for the supervision of the students. The supervisor could not walk, needed to use a donkey. Then came now these are primary schools. Then came the establishment of schools next to the masjids and kuttab. These schools resemble the secondary and high schools of today. The education provided was free of charge for all classes. The students did not pay any fees as they do now, and it was not restricted to certain groups and social classes at the expense of others. The opportunity for education was available to everybody. So the son of the rich would sit to near the son of the poor. The son of the trader would sit next to the son of the worker or the farmer. Then who used to teach there? The principals of these schools used to come from among the best and most famous of the scholars. Now math is being taught there, science is being taught there, and who are the principals? The biographies of the famous scholars indicate the schools that the scholars taught in, whether they were teachers or principals. Imam Nawawi rahimahullah, a great hadith master. Ibn Salah rahimahullah, a great master of usul hadith. Taqiyuddin as-Subki rahimahullah, Imaduddin ibn Kasir rahimahullah, they all taught at the house of hadith in Damascus. Imam Ghazali, Imam Shirazi, Imam al-Haramain, Imam Tabrizi, Imam Qazwini, and Imam Feroz Abadi rahimahumullah, and others taught at the Madrasa Nizamiya in Baghdad. Today we only know them as hadith masters or masters in their sciences, but they were teaching in universities that had both sides of it. Last thing from Imam Sibai rahimahullah, it says about Ibn Kasir rahimahullah, in his book Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya, he writes under the events of 631 after Hijrah. 631 Hijri mein kya waqiyat hue? This year the building of Madrasa Mustansariya was completed, one of the famous universities. This was the year in which the building of Madrasa Mustansariya was completed. Ibn Kasir says, no such madrasa was ever built before that. It was dedicated to all the 4 schools of fiqh. Now this is one side. Then Ibn Kasir rahimahullah says, in this Madrasa Muntasiriya, not University of Muntasiriya, the Madrasa University Muntasiriya, there was one Sheikh of medicine. and there were 10 Muslim physicians who ran the clinics in that same madrasa. So this further gives us an idea that how the situation was. The last thing, a few examples of the prominent figures and the achievements of these figures. Al-Kindi rahimahullah, his degree was, he was a master in Islamic philosophy. His achievement was that he introduced Indian numerals to the Arab world, wrote on optics and math. His contribution was the early foundation of optics. Al-Farabi rahimahullah, his degree, his major was Islamic philosophy and theology. If you look down, as I say, there is one common thing in every sheikh or every scholar here. With philosophy, with math, with science, they studied Islamic theology also. So he was a major in Islamic philosophy and theology. His achievements include logic and philosophy and work on theories of sound and physics. His contributions impact on early psychology. Ar-Razi rahimahullah, his major was Islamic theology and medicine. His achievement was he was a pioneer in medicine, wrote books on it. His contribution, first to use alcohol for medical purposes and produce detailed medical text. Ibn Sina, Avicenna as they say in English, his major was Islamic theology and philosophy. His achievement was major works on medicine, the canon of medicine he wrote. Physics and philosophy. His contribution laid the foundation for modern medicine, anatomy, and pharmacology. Al-Bayruni rahimahullah, his major was Islamic theology, geography, and astronomy. His achievement was